Today I'm working with Daisy in Year 5. We are going to be looking at some of the home learning activities in Year 5 and how we learn to master those in school. Daisy, thank you very much for joining us today. Daisy, can we look at the related facts maths game? Have you played that before?
No.
Daisy will be showing me some multiplication facts that she knows up to 12 times 12. They are facts which she should have learned to master by the end of Year 4. And then we'll be looking how our knowledge of place value and mathematical language can help us to master other mathematical facts related to knowing that number. We would call this a root fact. That is a starting fact that we absolutely know. Daisy, can I ask you to write for me, and you're using A3 paper today, which is much larger than the jotter you would normally have, but that will show up well in the video. Can I ask you to write for me a multiplication fact that you know related to but no bigger than 12 times 12, please? And what's the answer, please, Daisy? Daisy, could you demonstrate for me how you know that answer is correct? How do you know that 6 multiplied by 7 equals 42? How do you know that? Thank you, Daisy. I can see that you've drawn a number line today. Daisy, can you just tell me what's happening in that number line?
So you're adding 6 on each time.
Fabulous. Okay, so why do we say 6 multiplied by 7 rather than 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6? Why do we say that?
Just to shorten it.
Okay, so it's a faster way of doing it. It's a quicker way of doing it.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so that's really clear. Thank you. See, off camera, I've just drawn a red line underneath that to show 7 added on 6 times. So what do we know? 6 multiplied by 7 is the same as
7 times 6.
7 times 6. Great. And could you draw that for me any other way? Is there any other way you could show me that those facts are the same? Thank you, Daisy. So off camera, you've just made an array rather than draw what it shows. Could you explain that array to me, please?
You've done 7 and then 6.
Good. So you've either got 7 columns times 6 rows. So either way, you've made a total of 42 by doing that. Great. So before we've started, the first thing we've done is made sure that not only does Daisy clearly know the facts, but she's mastered those multiplication facts. She can explain them and demonstrate them to us. Daisy, if you know 6 times 7 is 42, could you tell me what 60 times 7 is, please?
420.
Okay, and why is that? Could you write that sum down for me and explain that? Okay, Daisy, so that is correct. Well done. So because you knew 6 times 7 equals 42, you've said to me that you now know 60 times 7 is 420. Why is that?
Because 60 is 10 times bigger than 6, so you're making the answer 10 times bigger.
Fantastic. So another way of thinking of that is that 6 becomes 6 tens times 7. So as you said, that gets 10 times bigger. So what Daisy and I have done is just demonstrated that by doing a simple columns showing the place value columns, hundreds, tens and ones. 42 has become 420, and the rule is 10 times larger, you move 1 column. Daisy, if you know 60 times 7 equals 420, could you on that page write down for me any other number facts that you know, please? Thanks, Daisy. So as you can see just off camera, Daisy has just completed another 4 number facts. That will be a homework complete for that session. Now we're just going to work on ensuring that she's understood it, and most importantly that she can explain the mathematics. Daisy, 600 times 7. You changed your answer and you took a 0 off the end. The answer is now 4,200. Can you explain to me how you know that is right?
Because if 6 times 70 is 220, it's getting 10 times bigger again to get 4,002. 4,200.
Okay, so you said 6 times 70 was 420. Yeah, okay, 420. And then you've made that 10 times bigger to get to 4,200. So could you give me a rule? If you multiply a number which is 100 times bigger, how many columns are you moving your answer now?
2 columns.
Fantastic. So it would go 42, 420, 4,200. Okay, this one, which is the 1 second from bottom, 0.6 times 7 equals 4.2. So what happened here?
So instead of moving 1 column to the left, it's moved down 1 column to the right.
And why is it moved 1 column to the right?
Because when you have the decimal point, it goes into the tenths.
And okay, and how many times smaller is that than 1? So how many times smaller is 0.6 than 6?
10.
Good. So the rule is if it's 10 times smaller, it moves 1 column to the
right.
Fantastic. That's really well explained, Daisy. Thank you very much for doing that. Daisy, could I just give you one last challenge to quiz you on? Off video, Daisy and I just discussed how obviously you can derive multiplication facts and division facts at the same time from a known fact. We've just highlighted 2 at the top of the page. 6 times 7 equals 42. Okay?
Yeah.
Could you tell me what is 5/6 of 42? I want you to think about your number line and I want you to think about what you already know. Okay, Daisy, could you tell me, I know you off camera we've just spoken about this question just for a second. You think you know the answer. What's 1/6 of 42?
7.
Fantastic. Okay, so 1/6 is 7. On the number line, could you identify for me where 5/6 will be on the number line, please? So you've told me 1/6 is 7. So what would 5/6 be just on the number line? If you just circle for me where that would be. Good. So you've actually said 1/6 is 7. 2 sevens would be
14.
3 sevens are
21.
4 sevens are
28.
5 sevens are
35.
fantastic, and I really like the way you took your time just to check that you got that right for me. So lots of numbers happening there. You had to work out what 1/6 was, which was 7, and then we did 7 times 5. So although the digits themselves are quite simple, there's a lot of making sure that you're focusing on the right number, and I really like the way you used the number line to identify that. So you worked out what